The Mahabharata of Krishna-Dwaipayana Vyasa. Translated into English prose from the original Sanskrit text by Pratap Chandra Roy C.I.E. This free ebook has been downloaded from holybooks.com. Bhishma Parva. Section 31, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, "Listen, O son of Pritha, how without doubt, thou mayst know me fully, fixing thy mind on me, practicing devotion and taking refuge in me. I will now, without leaving anything, speak to thee about knowledge and experience, knowing which there would be left nothing in this world for thee to know. One among thousands of men striveth for perfection. Of those even that are assiduous and have attained to perfection, only someone knoweth me truly. Earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, also understanding and consciousness, thus hath my nature been divided eightfold. This is a lower form of my nature. Different from this, know there is a higher form of my nature which is animate, O thou of mighty arms, and by which this universe is held. Know that all creatures have these for their source. I am the source of evolution and also of the dissolution of the entire universe. There is nothing else, O Dhananjaya, that is higher than myself. Upon me is all this like a row of pearls on a string. Taste, I am in the waters, O son of Kunti, and I am the splendor of both the moon and the sun. I am the Om in all the waves, the sound in space and the manliness in men. I am the fragrant odor in earth, the splendor in fire, the life in all living creatures, and penance in ascetics. Know me, O son of Pritha, to be the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intelligence of all creatures endued with intelligence, the glory of all glorious objects. I am also the strength of all that are endued with strength, myself freed from desire and thirst, and O bull of Bharata's race, I am the desire consistent with duty in all creatures. And all existences which are of the quality of goodness, and which are of the quality of passion and quality of darkness, know that they are indeed from me. I am, however, not in them but they are in me. This entire universe, deluded by these three entities consisting of these three qualities, knoweth not me that am beyond them and undecaying, since this illusion of mine, depending on the three qualities, is exceedingly marvelous and highly difficult of being transcended. They that resort to me alone cross this illusion. Doers of evil, ignorant men, the worst of their species, robbed of their knowledge by my illusion and wedded to the state of demons, do not resort to me. Four classes of doers of good deeds worship me, O Arjuna, viz. He that is distressed, he that is an enquirer after me, he that is desirous of wealth, and he, O bull of Bharata's race, who is possessed of knowledge. Of them, he that is possessed of knowledge, being always devoted and having his faith in only one, is superior to the rest, for unto the man of knowledge I am dear above everything, and he also is dear to me. All these are noble, but the man of knowledge is regarded by me to be my very self, since he, with soul fixed on abstraction, taketh refuge in me as the highest goal. At the end of many births, the man possessed of knowledge attaineth to me, thinking that Vasudeva is all this. Such a high-souled person, however, is exceedingly rare. They who have been robbed of knowledge by desire, resort to their godheads, observant of diverse regulations and controlled by their own nature. Whatever form, of godhead or myself, any worshipper desireth to worship with faith, that faith of his unto that form I render steady. Endued with that faith, he payeth his adorations to that form and obtaineth from that all his desire, since all those are ordained by me. The fruits, however, of those persons endued with little intelligence are perishable. They that worship the divinities go to the divinities, while they that worship me come even to me. They that have no discernment, regard me who am really unmanifest to have become manifest, because they do not know the transcendent and undecaying state of mind than which there is nothing higher. Shrouded by the illusion of my inconceivable power, I am not manifest to all. This deluded world knoweth not me that I am unborn and undecaying. I know, Arjuna, all things that have been past and all things that are present, and all things that are to be. But there is nobody that knoweth me. All creatures, O chastiser of foes, are deluded at the time of their birth by the delusion, O Bharata, of pairs of opposites arising from desire and aversion. But those persons of meritorious deeds whose sins have attained their end, being freed from the delusion of pairs of opposites, worship me, firm in their vow of that worship. Those who, taking refuge in me, strive for release from decay and death know Brahman, the entire Adhyatma, and action. And they who know me with the Adhibhuta, the Adhidaiva, and the Adhyajna, having minds fixed on abstraction, know me at the time of their departure from this world. Thus ends the 31st section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 32, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. Arjuna said, What is that Brahman? What is Adhyatma? What is action, O best of male beings? What also has been said to be Adhibhuta, and what is called Adhidaiva? Who is here Adhyajna, and how, in this body, O slayer of Madhu? And how at the time of departure art thou to be known by those that have restrained their self? The Holy One said, Brahman is the supreme and indestructible. Adhyatma is said to be its own manifestation. The offering to any godhead in a sacrifice which causeth the production and development of all this is called action. Remembering me alone in his last moments, he that, casting off his body departeth hence, cometh into my essence. There is no doubt in this. Whichever form of Godhead one remembereth when one casteth off at the end his body, unto that one he goeth, O son of Kunti, having habitually meditated on it always. Therefore think of me at all times and engage in battle. Fixing thy mind and understanding on me, thou wilt without doubt come even to me. Thinking of the Supreme, with a mind not running to other objects, and endued with abstraction in the form of an interrupted application, one goeth, O son of Pritha, unto the divine and supreme male being. He who at the time of his departure, with a steady mind, endued with reverence, with power of abstraction, and directing the life breath called prana between the eyebrows, thinketh of that ancient seer, who is the ruler of all, who is minuter than the minutest atom, who is the ordainer of all, who is inconceivable in form, and who is beyond all darkness, cometh unto that divine and supreme male being. I will tell thee in brief about that seat, which persons conversant with the Veds declare to be indestructible, which is entered by ascetics freed from all longings, and in expectation of which people practice the vows of brahmacharyans. Casting off this body, he who departeth, stopping up all the doors, confining the mind within the heart, placing his own life breath called prana between the eyebrows, resting on continued meditation, uttering this one syllable, Om, which is Brahman, and thinking of me, attaineth to the highest goal. He who always thinketh of me with mind ever withdrawn from all other objects, unto that devotee always engaged on meditation, I am, O Partha, easy of access. High-souled persons who have achieved the highest perfection, attaining to me, do not incur rebirth, which is the abode of sorrow and which is transient. All the worlds, Arjuna, from the abode of Brahman downwards, have to go through a round of births. On attaining to me, however, O son of Kunti, there is no rebirth. They who know a day of Brahman to end after 1,000 yugas, and a night of his to terminate after 1,000 yugas, are persons that know day and night. On the advent of Brahman's day everything that is manifest springeth from the unmanifest, and when his night cometh, into that same which is called unmanifest all things disappear. That same assemblage of creatures, springing forth again and again dissolveth on the advent of night, and springeth forth again, O son of Pritha, when day cometh, constrained by the force of action, etc. There is however another entity, unmanifest and eternal, which is beyond that unmanifest and which is not destroyed when all the entities are destroyed. It is said to be unmanifest and indestructible. They call it the highest goal, attaining which no one hath to come back. That is my supreme seat. That supreme being, O son of Pritha, he within whom are all entities, and by whom all this is permeated, is to be attained by reverence undirected to any other object. I will tell thee the times, O bull of Bharata's race, in which devotees departing from this life go, never to return. The fire, the light, the day, the lighted fortnight, the 6 months of the northern solstice, departing from here, the persons knowing Brahma go through this path to Brahma. Smoke, night, also the dark fortnight and the 6 months of the southern solstice, departing through this path, devotees, attaining to the lunar light, returneth. The bright and the dark, these two paths, are regarded to be the eternal two paths of the universe. By the one goeth never to return, by the other, one going cometh back. Knowing these two paths, O son of Pritha, no devotee is deluded. Therefore at all times, be endued with devotion, O Arjuna. The meritorious fruit that is prescribed for the study of the Veds, for sacrifices, for ascetic austerities, and for gifts, a devotee knowing all this that hath been said here, attaineth to it all, and also attaineth the supreme and primeval seat. Thus ends the 32nd section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 33, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, Now I will tell thee that art without envy, that most mysterious knowledge along with experience, knowing which thou wilt be freed from evil. This is royal science, a royal mystery, highly cleansing, directly apprehensible, consistent with the sacred laws, easy to practice, and imperishable. Those persons, O chastiser of foes, who have no faith in this sacred doctrine, not attaining to me, return to the path of this world that is subject to destruction. This entire universe is pervaded by me in my unmanifest form. All entities are in me, but I do not reside in them. Nor yet are all entities in me. Behold my divine power. Supporting all entities and producing all entities, myself doth not yet reside in those entities. As the great and ubiquitous atmosphere always occupieth space, understand that all entities reside in me in the same way. All entities, O son of Kunti, attain to my nature at the close of a kalpa. I create them again at the beginning of a kalpa. Regulating my own independent nature, I create again, and in this whole assemblage of entities which is plastic in consequence of its subjection to nature. Those acts, however, O Dhananjaya, do not fetter me who sitteth as one unconcerned, being unattached to those acts of creation. Through me, the overlooker, primal nature produceth the universe of mobiles and immobiles. For this reason, O son of Kunti, the universe passeth through its rounds of birth and destruction. Not knowing my supreme nature of the great Lord of all entities, ignorant people of vain hopes, vain acts, vain knowledge, confounded minds, wedded to the delusive nature of asuras and rakshasas, disregard me as one that hath assumed a human body. But high-souled ones, O son of Pritha, possessed of divine nature, and with minds directed to nothing else, worship me, knowing me to be the origin of all entities and indestructible. Always glorifying me, or striving with firm vows, or bowing down to me with reverence and ever devoted, they worship me. Others again, performing the sacrifice of knowledge, worship me, some as one, some as distinct, some as pervading the universe, in many forms. I am the Vedic sacrifice, I am the sacrifice enjoined in the Smritis, I am Swada, I am the medicament produced from herbs, I am the mantra, I am the sacrificial libation, I am the fire, and I am the sacrificial offering. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the creator, grandsire, I am the thing to be known, the means by which everything is cleansed, the syllable Om, the Rik, the summon and the Yajus, I am the goal, the supporter, the Lord, the onlooker, the abode, the refuge, the friend, the source, the destruction, the support, the receptacle, and the indestructible seed. I give heat, I produce and suspend rain, I am immortality, and also death, and I am the existent and the non-existent, O Arjuna. They who know the three branches of knowledge, also drink the Soma juice, and whose sins have been cleansed worshipping me by sacrifices, seek admission into heaven, and these attaining to the sacred region of the chief of the gods, enjoy in heaven the celestial pleasure of the gods. Having enjoyed that celestial world of vast extent, upon exhaustion of their merit, they re-enter the mortal world. It is thus that they who accept the doctrines of the three Veds and wish for objects of desires, obtain going and coming. Those persons who, thinking of me without directing their minds to anything else, worship me, of those who are thus always devoted to me, I make them gifts and preserve what they have. Even those devotees who, endued with faith worship other godheads, even they, O son of Kunti, worship me alone though irregularly. I am the enjoyer, as also the Lord, of all sacrifices. They however do not know me truly, hence they fall off from heaven. They whose vows are directed to the P3s attain to the P3s, who direct their worship to the inferior spirits called Bhutas attain to Bhutas, they who worship me, attain even to myself. They who offer me with reverence, leaf, flower, fruit, water that offered with reverence, I accept from him whose self is pure. Whatever thou dost, whatever eatest, whatever drinkest, whatever givest, whatever austerities thou performest, manage it in such a way, O son of Kunti, that it may be an offering to me. Thus mayst thou be freed from the fetters of action having good and evil fruits. With self endued with renunciation and devotion, thou wilt be released and wilt come to me. I am alike to all creatures, there is none hateful to me, none dear. They however who worship me with reverence, are in me, and I also am in them. If even a person of exceedingly wicked conduct worshipeth me, without worshipping any one else, he should certainly be regarded as good, for his efforts are well directed. Such a person soon becometh of virtuous soul, and attaineth to eternal tranquillity. Know, O son of Kunti, that none devoted to me is ever lost. For, O son of Pritha, even they who may be of sinful birth, women, Vaisyas, and also Sudras, even they, resorting to me, attain to the supreme goal. What then shall I say of holy Brahmanas and saints who are my devotees? Having come to this transient and miserable world, be engaged in my worship. Fix thy mind on me, be my devotee, my worshipper, bow to me, and thus making me thy refuge and applying thyself to abstraction, thou wilt certainly come to me. Thus ends the 33rd section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 34, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, once more still, O mighty armed one, listen to my supernal words which, from desire of thy good, I say unto thee that wouldst be pleased therewith. The hosts of gods know not my origin, nor the great rishis, since I am in every way the source of the gods and the great rishis. He that knoweth me as the supreme Lord of the worlds, without birth and beginning, he, undeluded among mortals, is free from all sins. Intelligence, knowledge, the absence of delusion, forgiveness, truth, self-restraint, and tranquility, pleasure, pain, birth, death, fear, and also security, abstention from harm, evenness of mind, contentment, ascetic austerities, gift, fame, infamy. These several attributes of creatures arise from me. The 7 great rishis, the 4 maharshis before them, and the manus partaking of my nature were born from my mind, of whom in this world are these offsprings. He that knoweth truly this preeminence and mystic power of mine, becometh possessed of unswerving devotion. Of this there is no doubt. I am the origin of all things, from me all things proceed. Thinking thus, the wise, endued with my nature, worship me. Their hearts on me, their lives devoted to me, instructing one another and glorifying me, they are ever contented and happy. Unto them always devoted, and worshipping me with love, I give that devotion in the form of knowledge by which they come to me. Of them, for compassion's sake, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance, by the brilliant lamp of knowledge, myself dwelling in their souls. Arjuna said, Thou art the supreme Brahma, the supreme abode, the holiest of the holy, the eternal male being divine, the first of gods unborn, the Lord. All the rishis proclaimed thee thus, and also the celestial rishi Narada, and Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, thyself also tellest me so. All this that thou tellest me, O Kesava, I regard as true sense, O Holy One. Neither the gods nor the Danavas understand thy manifestation. Thou only knowest thyself by thyself, O best of male beings. O Creator of all things, O Lord of all things, O God of gods, O Lord of the universe, it behoveth thee to declare without any reservation, those divine perfections of thine by which perfections pervading these worlds thou abidest. How shall I, ever meditating, know thee, O thou of mystic powers? In what particular states mayst thou, O Holy One, be meditated upon by me? Do thou again, O Janardana, copiously declare thy mystic powers and thy perfections, for I am never satiated with hearing thy nectar-like words. The Holy One said, Well, unto thee I will declare my divine perfections, by means of the principal ones among them, O chief of the Kurus, for there is no end to the extent of my perfections. I am the soul, O thou of curly hair, seated in the heart of every being. I am the beginning and the middle, and the end also of all beings. I am Vishnu among the Adityas, the resplendent sun among all luminous bodies. I am Marichi among the Maruts, and the moon among constellations. I am the Samaved among the Veds, I am Vasava among the gods, I am the mind among the senses, I am the intellect in living beings. I am Sankara among the Rudras, the Lord of treasures among the Yakshas and the Rakshasas, I am Pavaka among the Vasus, and Meru among the peaked mountains. Know me, O son of Pritha, to be Vrihaspati, the chief of household priests. I am Skanda among commanders of forces. I am ocean among receptacles of water. I am Brigu among the great rishis, I am the one, undestructible syllable Om among words. Of sacrifices I am the Japa sacrifice. Of immobiles I am the Himavat. I am the fig tree among all trees, I am Narada among the celestial rishis. I am Chitraratha among the Gandharvas, and the ascetic Kapila among ascetics crowned with yoga's success. Know me to be Uchchaisravas among horses, brought forth by the churning for nectar, Airavata among princely elephants, and the king among men. Among weapons I am the thunderbolt, among cows I am she called Kamadok. I am Kandarpa, the cause of reproduction, I am Vasuki among serpents. I am Ananta among Nagas, I am Varuna among aquatic beings. I am Aryaman among the P3s, and Yama among those that judge and punish. I am Prahlada among the Daityas, and time among things that count. I am the lion among the beasts, and Vinata's son among winged creatures. Of purifiers I am the wind. I am Rama among wielders of weapons. I am the Makara among fishes, and I am Jahnavi, Ganga, among streams. Of created things I am the beginning and the end and also the middle, O Arjuna. I am the knowledge of Supreme Spirit among all kinds of knowledge, and the disputation among disputants. Among all letters I am the letter A, and the compound called Dvanda among all compounds. I am also time eternal, and I am the Odena with face turned on every side. I am death that sees it all, and the source of all that is to be. Among females, I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, constancy, forgiveness. Of the Sama hymns I am the Vrihatsama and Gayatri among meters. Of the months, I am Margazisha, of the seasons I am that which is productive of flowers. I am the game of dice of them that cheat, and the splendor of those that are splendid. I am victory, I am exertion, I am the goodness of the good, I am Vasudeva among the Vrishnis, I am Dhananjaya among the sons of Pandu. I am even Vyasa among the ascetics, and Usnas among seers. I am the rod of those that chastise, I am the policy of those that seek victory. I am silence among that are secret. I am the knowledge of those that are possessed of knowledge. That which is the seed of all things, I am that, O Arjuna. There is nothing mobile or immobile, which can exist without me. There is no end, O chastiser of force, of my divine perfections. This recital of the extent of those perfections hath been uttered by me by way only of instancing them. Whatever of exalted things there is or glorious, or strong, understand thou that everything is born of a portion of my energy. Or rather, what hast thou to do by knowing all this in detail, O Arjuna? Supporting this entire universe with only a portion of myself, I stand. Thus ends the 34th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 35, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. Arjuna said, this discourse about the supreme mystery called Adhyatman, which thou hast uttered for my welfare, hath dispelled my delusion. For I have heard at large from thee of the creation and dissolution of beings, O thou of eyes like lotus petals, and also of thy greatness that knoweth no deterioration. What thou hast said about thyself, O great Lord, is even so. O best of male beings, I desire to behold thy sovereign form. If, O Lord, thou thinkest that I am competent to behold that form, then, O Lord of mystic power, show me thy eternal self. The Holy One said, behold, O son of Pritha, my forms by hundreds and thousands, various, divine, diverse in hue and shape. Behold the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Aswins, and the Maruths. Behold, O Bharata, innumerable marvels unseen before by thee. Behold, O thou of curly hair, the entire universe of mobiles and immobiles, collected together in this body of mine. Whatever else thou mayst wish to see, thou art however not competent to behold me with this eye of thine. I give thee celestial sight. Behold my sovereign mystic nature. Sanjaya continued, having said this, O monarch, Hari, the mighty lord of mystic power, then revealed to the son of Pritha his supreme sovereign form, with many mouths and eyes, many wondrous aspects, many celestial ornaments, many celestial weapons uplifted, wearing celestial garlands and robes, and with unguents of celestial fragrance, full of every wonder, resplendent, infinite, with faces turned on all sides. If the splendor of 1,000 suns were to burst forth at once in the sky, then that would be like the splendor of that mighty one. The son of Pandu then beheld there in the body of that god of gods the entire universe divided and subdivided into many parts, all collected together. Then Dhananjaya, filled with amazement, and with hair standing on end, bowing with his head, with joined hands addressed the god. Arjuna said, I behold all the gods, O God, as also all the varied hosts of creatures, and Brahman seated on his lotus seat, and all the rishis and the celestial snakes. I behold thee with innumerable arms, stomachs, mouths, and eyes on every side, O thou of infinite forms. Neither end nor middle, nor also beginning of thine do I behold, O Lord of the universe, O thou of universal form. Bearing thy diadem, mace, and discus, a mass of energy glowing on all sides, do I behold thee that art hard to look at, endued on all sides with the effulgence of the blazing fire or the sun, and immeasurable. Thou art indestructible, and the supreme object of this universe. Thou art without decay, the guardian of eternal virtue. I regard thee to be the eternal male being. I behold thee to be without beginning, mean, end, to be of infinite prowess, of innumerable arms, having the sun and the moon for thy eyes, the blazing fire for thy mouth, and heating this universe with energy of thy own. For the space betwixt heaven and earth is pervaded by thee alone, as also all the points of the horizon. At sight of this marvelous and fierce form of thine, O Supreme Soul, the triple world trembleth. For these hosts of gods are entering thee. Some afraid, are praying with joined hands, saying, Hail to thee! The hosts of great rishis and siddhas praise thee with copious hymns of praise. The Rudras, the Adityas, the Vasus, they that are called the Siddhas, the Viswas, the Aswins, the Maruts, also the Ushmapas, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, the hosts of Siddhyas, behold thee and are all amazed. Beholding thy mighty form with many mouths and eyes, O mighty armed one, with innumerable arms, thighs and feet, many stomachs, and terrible in consequence of many tusks, all creatures are frightened and I also. Indeed, touching the very skies of blazing radiance, many-hued, mouth wide open, with eyes that are blazing and large, beholding thee, O Vishnu, with my inner soul trembling in fright, I can no longer command courage and peace of mind. Beholding thy mouths that are terrible in consequence of their tusks, and that are fierce as the all-destroying fire at the end of the yuga, I cannot recognize the points of the horizon nor can I command peace of mind. Be gracious, O God of gods, O thou that art the refuge of the universe. And all these sons of Dhritarashtra, together with the hosts of kings, and Bhishma, and Drona, and also this Suta's son Karna, accompanied by even the principal warriors of our side, are quickly entering thy terrible mouths rendered fierce by thy tusks. Some, with their heads crushed, are seen striking at the interstices of thy teeth. As many currents of water flowing through different channels roll rapidly towards the ocean, so these heroes of the world of men enter thy mouths that flame all around. As moths with increasing speed rush for their own destruction to the blazing fire, so also do these people with unceasing speed enter thy mouths for their destruction. Swallowing all these men from every side, thou lickest them with thy flaming mouths. Filling the whole universe with thy energy, thy fierce splendors, O Vishnu, are heating everything. Tell me who thou art of such fierce form. I bow to thee, O chief of the gods, be gracious to me. I desire to know thee that art the primeval one, I do not understand thy action. The Holy One said, I am death, the destroyer of the worlds, fully developed. I am now engaged in slaying the race of men. Without thee all these warriors standing in the different divisions shall cease to be. Wherefore arise, gain glory, vanquishing the foe, enjoy this swelling kingdom. By me have all these been already slain. Be only my instrument, O thou that canst draw the bow with even the left hand. Drona and Bhishma, and Jayadratha and Karna, and also other heroic warriors already slain by me, do thou slay. Be not dismayed. Fight. Thou shalt conquer in battle thy foes. Sanjaya continued, hearing these words of Kesava, the diadem-decked Arjuna, trembling and with joined hands bowed unto him, and once more said unto Krishna with voice choked up and overwhelmed with fear, and making his salutations to him. Arjuna said, "It is meet, Hrishikesa, that the universe is delighted and charmed in uttering thy praise, and the Rakshasas flee in fear in all directions, and the hosts of the Siddhas bow down to thee. And why should they not bow down to thee, O Supreme Soul, that are greater than even Brahman himself, and the primal cause? O thou that art infinite, O God of the gods, O thou that art the refuge of the universe, thou art indestructible, thou art that which is, and that which is not, and that which is beyond both. Thou art the first God, the ancient male being, thou art the supreme refuge of this universe. Thou art the knower, thou art the object to be known, thou art the highest abode. By thee is pervaded this universe, O thou of infinite form. Thou art Vayu, Yama, Agni, Varuna, Moon, Prajapati, and Grandsire. Obeisance be to thee 1,000 times, and yet again obeisance to thee. Obeisance to thee in front, and also from behind. Let obeisance be to thee from every side, O thou that art all. Thou art all, of energy that is infinite, and prowess that is immeasurable. Thou embracest thee all. Regarding thee a friend, whatever hath been said by me carelessly, such as O Krishna, O Yadava, O friend, not knowing this thy greatness, from want of judgment or from love either, whatever disrespect hath been shown thee for purpose of mirth, on occasion of play, lying, sitting, or at meals, while alone or in the presence of others, O undeteriorating one, I beg thy pardon for it, that art immeasurable. Thou art the Father of this universe of mobiles and immobiles. Thou art the great Master deserving of worship. There is none equal to thee. How can there be one greater? O thou whose power is unparalleled in even 3 worlds. Therefore bowing to thee, prostrating my body, I ask thy grace, O Lord, O adorable one. It behoveth thee, O God, to bear my faults as a father his sons, a friend his friends, a lover his loved ones. Beholding thy form unseen before, I have been joyful, yet my mind hath been troubled with fear. Show me that other ordinary form, O God. Be gracious, O Lord of the gods, O thou that art the refuge of the universe. Decked in diadem and armed with mace, discus in hand as before, I desire to behold thee. Be of that same 4-armed form, O thou of 1,000 arms, thou of universal form. The Holy One said, pleased with thee, Arjuna, I have by my own mystic power shown thee this supreme form, full of glory, universal, infinite, primeval, which hath been seen before by none save thee. Except by thee alone, hero of Kuru's race, I cannot be seen in this form in the world of men by any one else, aided even by the study of the Vedas and of sacrifices, by gifts, by actions, or by the severest austerities. Let no fear be thine, nor perplexity of mind at seeing this awful form of mine. Freed from fear with a joyful heart, thou again see me assuming that other form. Sanjaya continued, Vasudeva, having said all this to Arjuna, once more showed him his own ordinary form, and that high-souled one, assuming once more his gentle form, comforted him who had been afflicted. Arjuna said, beholding this gentle human form of thine, O Janardana, I have now become of right mind and have come to my normal state. The Holy One said, this form of mine which thou hast seen is difficult of being seen. Even the gods are always desirous of becoming spectators of this my form. Not by the Vedas, nor by austerities, nor by gifts, nor by sacrifices, can I be seen in this form of mine which thou hast seen. By reverence, however, that is exclusive in its objects, O Arjuna, I can in this form be known, seen truly, and attained to, O chastiser of force. He who doth everything for me, who hath me for his supreme object, who is freed from attachment, who is without enmity towards all beings, even he Arjuna, cometh to me. Thus ends the 35th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 36, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. Arjuna said, of those worshippers who, constantly devoted, adore thee, and those who meditate on thee as the immutable and unmanifest, who are best acquainted with devotion, the Holy One said, fixing their mind on me, they that constantly adore me, being endued besides with the highest faith, are deemed by me to be the most devoted. They however who worship the immutable and manifest, the all-pervading, the inconceivable, the indifferent, the immutable, the eternal, who restraining the entire group of the senses, are equal-minded in respect of all around and are engaged in the good of all creatures, also attain to me. The trouble is the greater for those whose minds are fixed on the unmanifest, for the path to the unmanifest is hard to find by those that are embodied. They again who reposing all action on me and regarding me as their highest object of attainment, worship me, meditating on me with devotion undirected to anything else, of them whose minds are thus fixed on me, I without delay become the deliverer from the ocean of this mortal world. Fix thy heart on me alone, place thy understanding on me, hereafter then shalt thou dwell in me. There is no doubt in this. If however thou art unable to fix thy heart steadily on me, then O Dhananjaya strive to attain me by devotion arising from continuous application. If thou beest unequal to even this continuous application, then let actions performed for me be thy highest aim. Even performing all thy acts for my sake, thou wilt obtain perfection. If even this thou art unable to do, then resorting to devotion in me and subduing thy soul, abandon the fruit of actions. Knowledge is superior to application to devotion. Meditation is better than knowledge. The abandonment of the fruit of action is better than meditation, and tranquility results immediately from abandonment. He who hath no hatred for any creature, who is friendly and compassionate also, who is free from egoism, who hath no vanity, attachment, who is alike in pleasure and pain, who is forgiving, contented, always devoted, of subdued soul, firm of purpose, with heart and understanding fixed on me, even he is dear to me. He through whom the world is not troubled and who is not troubled by the world, who is free from joy, wrath, fear and anxieties, even he is dear to me. That devotee of mine who is unconcerned, pure, diligent, unconnected with worldly objects, and free from distress of mind, and who renounceth every action for fruit, even he is dear to me. He who hath no joy, no aversion, who neither grieveth nor desireth, who renounceth both good and evil, and who is full of faith in me, even he is dear to me. He who is alike to friend and foe, as also in honor and dishonor, who is alike in cold and heat, and pleasure and pain, who is free from attachment, to whom censure and praise are equal, who is taciturn, who is contented with anything that cometh to him, who is homeless, of steady mind and full of faith, even that man is dear to me. They who resort to this righteousness leading to immortality which hath been already declared, those devotees full of faith and regarding me as the highest object of their acquisition are the dearest to me. Thus ends the 36th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 37, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called Kshetra. Him who knoweth it, the learned call Kshetrajna. Know me, O Bharata, to be Kshetras. The knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetrajna I regard to be true knowledge. What that Kshetra is, and what it is like, and what changes it undergoes, and whence it comes, what is he vis, Kshetrajna, and what his powers are, hear from me in brief. All this hath in many ways been sung separately by rishis in various verses, in well-settled texts, fraught with reason and giving indications of Brahman. The great elements, egoism, intellect, the unmanifest, vis, prakriti, also the 10 senses, the one manas, the 5 objects of sense, desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, body, consciousness, courage, all this in brief heart being declared to be kshetra in its modified form. Absence of vanity, absence of ostentation, abstention from injury, forgiveness, uprightness, devotion to preceptor, purity, constancy, self-restraint, indifference to objects of sense, absence of egoism, perception of the misery and evil of birth, death, decrepitude and disease, freedom from attachment, absence of sympathy for son, wife, home and the rest, and constant equanimity of heart on attainment of good and evil, unswerving devotion to me, without meditation on anything else. Frequenting of lonely places, distaste for concourse of men, constancy in the knowledge of the relation of the individual self to the Supreme, perception of the object of the knowledge of truth, all this is called knowledge, all that which is contrary to this is ignorance. That which is the object of knowledge I will now declare to thee, knowing which one obtaineth immortality. It is the Supreme Brahma, having no beginning, who is said to be neither existent nor non-existent, whose hands and feet are on all sides, whose eyes, heads and faces are on all sides, who dwells pervading everything in the world, who is possessed of all the qualities of the senses, though devoid of the senses, without attachment yet sustaining all things, without attributes yet enjoying all attributes, without and within all creatures, immobile and mobile, not knowable because of his subtlety. Remote yet near, undistributed in all beings, yet remaining as if distributed, who is the sustainer of all beings, the absorber and the creator of all, who is the light of all luminous bodies, who is said to be beyond all darkness, who is knowledge, the object of knowledge, the end of knowledge and seated in the hearts of all. Thus kshetra and knowledge, and the object of knowledge, have been declared to thee in brief. My devotee, knowing all this, becomes one in spirit with me. Know that nature and spirit are both without beginning, and know also that all modifications and all qualities spring from nature. Nature is said to be the source of the capacity of enjoying pleasures and pains. For spirit dwelling in nature, enjoyeth the qualities born of nature. The cause of its births in good or evil wombs is its connection with the qualities. The Supreme Purusha in this body is said to be surveyor, approver, supporter, enjoyer, the mighty Lord, and also the Supreme Soul. He who thus knows spirit and nature with the qualities, in whatever state he may be, is never born again. Some, by meditation behold the self in the self by the self, others, by devotion according to the Sankhya system, and others again, by devotion through works, others yet, not knowing this worship, hearing of it from others. Even these, devoted to what is heard, cross over death. Whatever entity, immobile or mobile cometh into existence, know that, O bull of Bharata's race, to be from the connection of kshetra and kshetrajna, matter and spirit. He seeth the Supreme Lord dwelling alike in all beings, the imperishable in the perishable. For seeing the Lord dwelling alike everywhere, one doth not destroy himself by himself, and then reacheth the highest goal. He seeth truly who seeth all actions to be wrought by nature alone in every way, and the self likewise to be not the doer. When one seeth the diversity of entities as existing in one, and the issue of everything from that one, then is one said to attain to Brahma. This inexhaustible Supreme Self, O son of Kunti, being without beginning and without attributes, doth not act, nor is stained even when stationed in the body. As space, which is ubiquitous, is never in consequence of its subtlety tainted, so the soul stationed in every body is never tainted. As the single sun lights up the entire world, so the spirit, O Bharata, lights up the entire sphere of matters. They that, by the eye of knowledge, know the distinction between matter and spirit, and the deliverance from the nature of all entities, attain to the Supreme. Thus ends the 37th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 38, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, I will again declare to thee that supernal science of sciences, that excellent science, knowing which all the Munis have attained to the highest perfection from the fetters of this body. Resorting to this science, and attaining to my nature, they are not reborn even on the occasion of a new creation and are not disturbed at the universal dissolution. The mighty Brahma is a womb for me. Therein I place the living germ. Then so Bharata, the birth of all beings taketh place. Whatever bodily forms, O son of Kunti, are born in all wombs, of them Brahma is the mighty womb and I the seed imparting sire. Goodness, passion, darkness, these qualities born of nature bind down, O thou of mighty arms, the eternal embodied soul in the body. Amongst these, goodness, from its unsullied nature, being enlightening and free from misery, bindeth the soul, O sinless one, with the attainment of happiness and of knowledge. Know that passion, having desire for its essence, is born of thirst and attachment. That, O son of Kunti, bindeth the embodied soul by the attachment of work. Darkness, however, no, is born of ignorance and bewilders all embodied soul. That bindeth, O Bharata, with error, indolence and sleep. Goodness uniteth the soul with pleasure, passion, O Bharata, uniteth with work, but darkness, veiling knowledge, uniteth with error. Passion and darkness, being repressed, goodness remaineth, O Bharata. Passion and goodness being repressed, darkness remaineth, and darkness and goodness being repressed, passion remaineth. When in this body, in all its gates, the light of knowledge is produced, then should one know that goodness hath been developed there. Avarice, activity, performance of works, want of tranquility, desire, these, O bull of Bharata's race, are born when passion is developed. Gloom, inactivity, error and delusion also, these, O son of Guru's race, are born when darkness is developed. When the holder of a body goeth to dissolution while goodness is developed, then he attaineth to the spotless regions of those that know the Supreme. Going to dissolution when passion prevails, one is born among those that are attached to work. Likewise, dissolved during darkness, one is born in wombs that beget the ignorant. The fruit of good action is said to be good and untainted. The fruit, however, of passion, is misery, and the fruit of darkness is ignorance. From goodness is produced knowledge, from passion, avarice, and from darkness are error and delusion, and also ignorance. They that dwell in goodness go on high, they that are addicted to passion dwell in the middle, while they that are of darkness, being addicted to the lowest quality, go down. When an observer recognizes none else to be an agent save the qualities, and knows that which is beyond the qualities, he attaineth to my nature. The embodied soul, by transcending these three qualities which constitute the source of all bodies, enjoyeth immortality, being freed from birth, death, decrepitude, and misery. Arjuna said, What are indications, O Lord, of one who hath transcended these three qualities? What is his conduct? How also doth one transcend these three qualities? The Holy One said, He who hath no aversion for light, activity, and even delusion, O son of Pandu, when they are present, nor desireth them when they are absent, who, seated as one unconcerned, is not shaken by those qualities, who sitteth and moveth not, thinking that it is the qualities and not he that are engaged in their respective functions, to whom pain and pleasure are alike, who is self-contained, and to whom a sod of earth, a stone, and gold are alike. To whom the agreeable and the disagreeable are the same, who hath discernment, to whom censure and praise are the same, to whom honor and dishonor are the same, who regardeth friend and foe alike, who hath renounced all exertion is said to have transcended the qualities. He also who worshippeth me with exclusive devotion, he, transcending those qualities, becometh fit for admission into the nature of Brahma, for I am the stay of Brahma, of immortality, of indestructibility, of eternal piety, and of unbroken felicity. Thus ends the 38th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 39, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, they say that the Aswatha, having its roots above and branches below is eternal, its leaves are the Chandas. He who knoweth it, knoweth the waves. Downwards and upwards are stretched its branches which are enlarged by the qualities, its sprouts are the objects of senses. Downwards its roots, leading to action, are extended to this world of men. Its form cannot here, below, be thus known, nor its end, nor its beginning, nor its support. Cutting with the hard weapon of unconcern, this aswatha of roots firmly fixed, then should one seek for that place repairing whither one returneth not again, thinking I will seek the protection of that primeval sire from whom the ancient course of worldly life hath flowed. Those that are free from pride and delusion, that have subdued the evil of attachment, that are steady in the contemplation of the relation of the Supreme to the individual self, from whom desire hath departed, freed from the pairs of opposites known by the names of pleasure and pain, and the like, repair undeluded to that eternal seat. The sun lighteth not that seat, nor the moon, nor fire. Whither going none returneth, that is my supreme seat. An eternal portion of me is that which, becoming an individual soul in the world of life, draweth to itself the five senses with the mind as the sixth which all depend on nature. When the sovereign of this bodily frame assumeth or quitteth a body, it departeth taking away these, like the wind taking away perfumes from their seats. Presiding over the ear, the eye, the organs of touch, taste, and smell, and also over the mind, he enjoyeth all objects of senses. They that are deluded do not see him when quitting or abiding in the body, when enjoying or joined to the qualities. They however see, that have the eye of knowledge. Devotees exerting towards that end behold him dwelling in themselves. They however that are senseless and whose minds are not restrained, behold him not, even while exerting themselves. That splendor dwelling in the sun which illumines the vast universe, that which is in the moon, and that which is in the fire, know that splendor to be mine. Entering into the earth I uphold creatures by my force, and becoming the juicy moon I nourish all herbs. Myself becoming the vital heat, Vaisvanara, residing in the bodies of creatures that breathe, and uniting with the upward and the downward life breaths, I digest the four kinds of food. I am seated in the hearts of all. From me are memory and knowledge and the loss of both. I am the objects of knowledge to be known by the aid of all the Veds. I am the author of the Vedantas and I alone am the knower of the Veds. There are these two entities in the world, viz., the mutable and the immutable. The mutable is all these creatures. The unchangeable one is called the immutable. But there is another, the Supreme Being called Paramatman, who was the eternal Lord, pervading the three worlds, sustaining them. And since I transcend the mutable and am higher than even the immutable, for this I am celebrated in the world among men and in the Vedas Purushottama, the highest being. He who, without being deluded, knoweth me as this highest being, he knowing all O Bharata, worships me in every way. Thus O sinless one hath this knowledge, forming the greatest of mysteries, been declared by me to thee. Knowing this O Bharata, one will become gifted with intelligence, and will have done all he needs do. Thus ends the 39th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 40, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. The Holy One said, fearlessness, purity of heart, perseverance in the pursuit of knowledge and yoga meditation, gifts, self-restraint, sacrifice, study of the Veds, ascetic penances, uprightness, abstention from injury, truth, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, freedom from reporting others' faults, compassion for all creatures, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, absence of restlessness, vigor, forgiveness, firmness, cleanliness, absence of quarrelsomeness, freedom from vanity, these become his, O Bharata, who is born to godlike possessions. Hypocrisy, pride, conceit, wrath, rudeness and ignorance, are, O son of Pritha, his who is born to demoniac possessions. Godlike possessions are deemed to be for deliverance, the demoniac for bondage. Grieve not, O son of Pandu, for thou art born to godlike possessions. There are two kinds of created beings in this world, viz., the godlike and the demoniac. The godlike have been described at length. Hear now from me, O son of Pritha, about the demoniac. Persons of demoniac nature know not inclination or disinclination. Neither purity nor good conduct, nor truth exist in them. They say that the universe is void of truth, of guiding principle and of ruler, produced by the union of one another, male and female from lust and nothing else. Depending on this view, these men of lost selves, little intelligence and fierce deeds, these enemies of the world are born for the destruction of the universe. Cherishing desires that are insatiable and endued with hypocrisy, conceit and folly, they adopt false notions through delusion and engage in unholy practices. Cherishing boundless thoughts limited by death alone, and regarding the enjoyment of their desires as the highest end, they are persuaded that that is all. Fettered by the 100 nooses of hope, addicted to lust and wrath, they covet to obtain this wealth today. This I will obtain later. This wealth I have. This wealth will be mine in addition. This foe hath been slain by me, I will slay even others. I am Lord, I am the enjoyer, I am successful, powerful, happy, I am rich and of noble birth. Who else is there that is like me? I will sacrifice, I will make gifts. I will be merry. Thus deluded by ignorance, tossed about by numerous thoughts, enveloped in the meshes of delusion, attached to the enjoyment of objects of desire, they sink into foul hell. Self-conceited, stubborn, filled with the pride and intoxication of wealth, they perform sacrifices that are nominally so, with hypocrisy and against the prescribed ordinance. Wedded to vanity, power, pride, lust and wrath, these revilers hate me in their own bodies and those of others. These haters of me, cruel, the vilest among men and unholy, I hurl continually down into demoniac wombs. Coming into demoniac wombs, deluded birth after birth, they, O son of Kunti, without attaining to me go down to the vilest state. Threefold is the way to hell, renus to the self, viz., lust, wrath, likewise avarice. Therefore these three one should renounce. Freed from these three gates of darkness, a man, O son of Kunti, works out his own welfare and then repairs to his highest goal. He who, abandoning the ordinances of the scriptures, acts only under the impulses of desire, never attains to perfection nor happiness, nor the highest goal. Therefore, the scriptures should be thy authority in determining what should be done and what should not be done. It behoveth thee to do work here, having ascertained what hath been declared by the ordinances of the scriptures. Thus ends the 40th section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 41, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. Arjuna said, What is the state, O Krishna, of those who, abandoning the ordinance of the scriptures, performs sacrifices endued with faith. Is it one of goodness or passion, or darkness? The Holy One said, the faith of embodied creatures is of three kinds. It is also born of their individual natures. It is good, passionate and dark. Hear now these. The faith of one, O Bharata, is conformable to his own nature. A being here is full of faith, and whatever is one's faith, one is even that. They that are of the quality of goodness worship the gods, they that are of the quality of passion worship the yakshas and the rakshasas, other people that are of the quality of darkness worship departed spirits and hosts of bhutas. Those people who practice severe ascetic austerities not ordained by the scriptures are given up to hypocrisy and pride, and endued with desire of attachment and violence, those persons possessed of no discernment, torturing the groups of organs in their bodies and me also seated within those bodies, should be known to be of demoniac resolve. Food which is dear to all is of three kinds. Sacrifice, penance, and gifts are likewise of three kinds. Listen to their distinctions as follows. Those kinds of food that increase life's period, energy, strength, health, well-being and joy, which are savory, oleaginous, nutritive and agreeable, are liked by God. Those kinds of food which are bitter, sour, salted, overhot, pungent, dry, and burning, and which produce pain, grief and disease, are desired by the passionate. The food which is cold, without savour, stinking and corrupt, and which is even refuse and filthy, is dear to men of darkness. That sacrifice is good which, being prescribed by the ordinance, is performed by persons without any longing for the fruit thereof, and the mind being determined to it, under the belief that its performance is a duty. But that which is performed in expectation of fruit and even for the sake of ostentation, know that sacrifice, O chief of the sons of Bharata, to be of the quality of passion. That sacrifice which is against the ordinance, in which no food is dealt out, which is devoid of mantras, sacred verse, in which no fees are paid to the Brahmanas assisting to it, and which is void of faith, is said to be of the quality of darkness. Reverence to the gods, regenerate ones, preceptors and men of knowledge, purity, uprightness, the practices of a brahmacharin, and abstention from injury are said to constitute the penance of the body. The speech which causeth no agitation, which is true, which is agreeable and beneficial, and the diligent study of the Vedas are said to be the penance of speech. Serenity of the mind, gentleness, taciturnity, self-restraint and purity of the disposition, these are said to be the penance of the mind. This threefold penance, performed with perfect faith by men without desire of fruit, and with devotion, is said to be of the quality of goodness. That penance which is performed for the sake of gaining respect, honor and reverence, with hypocrisy, and which is unstable and transient, is said to be of the quality of passion. That penance which is performed under a deluded conviction, with torture of one's self and for the destruction of another, is said to be of the quality of darkness. That gift which is given because it ought to be given, to one who cannot return any service for it in a proper time, and to a proper person, is said to be of the quality of goodness. That however which is given reluctantly, for return of services, past or expected, or even with an eye to fruit, that gift is said to be of the quality of passion. In an unfit place and at an unfit time, the gift that is made to an unworthy object, without respect and with contempt, is said to be of the quality of darkness. Om, Tat, Sat. This is said to be the threefold designation of Brahma. By that Brahma, the Brahmanas and the Vedas and the sacrifices were ordained of old. Therefore, uttering the syllable Om, the sacrifices, gifts, and penances prescribed by the ordinance of all utterers of Brahma begin. Uttering Tat, the various rites of sacrifice, penance, and gifts without expectation of fruit, are performed by those that are desirous of deliverance. Sat is employed to denote existence and goodness. Likewise, O son of Pritha, the word sat is used in any auspicious act. Constancy in sacrifices, in penances and in gifts is also called sat, and an act too for the sake of that, is called sat. Whatever oblation is offered to the fire, whatever is given away, whatever penance is performed, whatever is done without faith is, O son of Pritha, said to be the opposite of sat, and that is worth naught, both here and hereafter. Thus ends the 41st section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Section 42, Bhagavad Gita Parva continued. Arjuna said, of renunciation, O thou of mighty arms, I desire to distinctly know the true nature, and also of abandonment, O Lord of the senses, O slayer of Kesi. The Holy One said, the rejection of the works with desire is known by the learned as renunciation. The abandonment of the fruit of all work, the discerning call abandonment. Some wise men say that work itself should be abandoned as evil, others say that the works of sacrifice, gifts, and penance should not be abandoned. As to that abandonment, listen to my decision, O best of the sons of Bharata. For abandonment, O tiger among men, hath been declared to be of three kinds. The works of sacrifice, gifts, and penance should not be abandoned. They should indeed be done. Sacrifice, gift, and penance are the purifications of the wise. But even those works should be done, abandoning attachment and fruit. This, O son of Pritha, is my excellent and decided opinion. The renunciation of an act prescribed in the scriptures is not proper. Its abandonment is from delusion, and is therefore declared to be of the quality of darkness. Regarding it as a source of sorrow, when work is abandoned from fear of bodily pain, one making such an abandonment which is of the quality of passion never obtaineth the fruit of abandonment. Regarding it as one that should be done, when work that is prescribed in the scriptures is done, O Arjuna, abandoning attachment and fruit also, that abandonment is deemed to be of the quality of goodness. Possessed of intelligence and with doubts dispelled, an abandoner that is endowed with the quality of goodness hath no aversion for an unpleasant action and no attachment to pleasant ones. Since actions cannot be absolutely abandoned by an embodied person, therefore he who abandons the fruit of actions is truly said to be an abandoner. Evil, good and mixed action hath this threefold fruit hereafter for those that do not abandon. But there is none whatever for the renouncer. Listen from me, O thou of mighty arms, to those 5 causes for the completion of all actions, declared in the Sankhya treating of the annihilation of actions. They are substratum, agent, the diverse kinds of organs, the diverse efforts severally, and with them the deities as the 5th. With body, speech or mind, whatever work, just or the reverse, a man undertakes, these 5 are its causes. That being so, he that, owing to an unrefined understanding, beholdeth his own self as solely the agent, he, dull in mind, beholdeth not. He that hath no feeling of egoism, whose mind is not solid, he, even killing all these people, killeth not, nor is fettered by action. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower, form the threefold impulse of action. Instrument, action and the agent, form the threefold complement of action. Knowledge, action and agent, are declared in the enumeration of qualities to be threefold, according to the difference of qualities. Listen to those also duly. That, by which the one eternal essence is viewed in all things, undivided in the divided, know that to be knowledge, having the quality of goodness. That knowledge which discerneth all things as diverse essences of different kinds in consequence of their separateness, know that that knowledge hath the quality of passion. But that which is attached to each single object as if it were the whole, which is without reason, without truth, and mean, that knowledge hath been said to be of the quality of darkness. The action which is prescribed by the scriptures, done without attachment, performed without desires and aversion, by one who longeth not for its fruit, is said to be of the quality of goodness. But that action which is done by one seeking objects of desire, or by one filled with egoism, and which is attended with great trouble, is said to be of the quality of passion. That action which is undertaken from delusion, without regard to consequences, loss, injury to others, and one's own power also, is said to be of the quality of passion. The agent who is free from attachment, who never speaketh of himself, who is endued with constancy and energy and is unmoved by success and defeat, is said to be of the quality of goodness. The agent who is full of affections, who wisheth for the fruit of actions, who is covetous, endued with cruelty and impure, and who feeleth joy and sorrow, is declared to be of the quality of passion. The agent who is void of application, without discernment, obstinate, deceitful, malicious, slothful, desponding, and procrastinating, is said to be of the quality of darkness. Hear now, O Dhananjaya, the threefold division of intellect and constancy, according to their qualities, which I am about to declare exhaustively and distinctly. The intellect which knoweth action and inaction, what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, fear and fearlessness, bondage and deliverance, is, O son of Pritha, of the quality of goodness. The intellect by which one imperfectly discerneth right and wrong, that which ought to be done and that which ought not to be done, is, O son of Pritha, of the quality of passion. That intellect which, shrouded by darkness, regardeth wrong to be right and all things as reversed is, O son of Pritha, of the quality of darkness. That unswerving constancy by which one controls the functions of the mind, the life breaths and the senses, through devotion, that constancy is, O son of Pritha, of the quality of goodness. But that constancy, Arjuna, by which one holds to religion, desire, and profit, through attachment, desiring fruit, that constancy, O son of Pritha, is of the quality of passion. That through which an undiscerning person abandons not sleep, fear, sorrow, despondency, and folly, that constancy is deemed to be of the quality of darkness. Hear now from me, O bull of Bharata's race, of the three kinds of happiness. That in which one findeth pleasure from repetition of enjoyment, which bringeth an end to pain, which is like poison first but resembleth nectar in the end, that happiness born of the serenity produced by a knowledge of self, is said to be of the quality of goodness. That which is from the contact of the senses with their objects which resembleth nectar first but is like poison in the end, that happiness is held to be of the quality of passion. That happiness which in the beginning and its consequences deludeth the soul, and springeth from sleep, indolence, and stupidity, that is described to be of the quality of darkness. There is not, either on earth or heaven among the gods, the entity that is free from these three qualities born of nature. The duties of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaisyas, and of Sudras also, O chastiser of foes, are distinguished by these three qualities born of nature: tranquility, self-restraint, ascetic austerities, purity, forgiveness, rectitude, knowledge, experience, and belief in an existence hereafter. These are the duties of Brahmanas, born of their proper nature. Bravery, energy, firmness, skill, not flying away from battle, liberality, the bearing of a ruler, these are the duties of Kshatriyas, born of their proper nature. Agriculture, tending of cattle and trade, are the natural duties of Vaisyas. Of Sudras also, the natural duty consists in servitude. Every man, engaged in his own duties, attains to perfection. Hear now how one obtains perfection by application to his duties. him from whom are the movements of all beings, him by whom all this is pervaded, worshipping him by the performance of one's own duty, one obtaineth perfection. Better is one's own duty though performed faultily than another's duty well performed. Performing the duty prescribed by one's own nature, one incurreth no sin. One must not abandon, O son of Kunti, one's natural duty though stained with evil, for all actions are enveloped by evil like fire by smoke. He whose mind is unattached everywhere, who hath subdued his self and whose desire hath departed, obtaineth through renunciation, the supreme perfection of freedom from work. Learn from me, only in brief, O son of Kunti, how one, having obtained this kind of perfection, attaineth to Brahma, which is the supreme end of knowledge. Endued with a pure mind and restraining his self by constancy, renouncing sound and other objects of sense and casting off affection and aversion. He who resideth in a lonely place, eateth little, and restraineth speech, body and mind, who is ever intent on meditation and abstraction, who hath recourse to indifference, who, abandoning egoism, violence, pride, lust, wrath, and all surroundings, hath been freed from selfishness and is tranquil in mind, becometh fit for assimilation with Brahma. Becoming one with Brahma, tranquil in spirit, such a one grieveth not, desireth not, alike to all beings, he obtaineth the highest devotion to me. By that devotion he truly understandeth me. What I am, and who I am, then understanding me truly, he entereth into me forthwith. Even performing all actions at all times, having refuge in me, he obtaineth through my favor, the seed that is eternal and imperishable. Dedicating in thy heart all actions to me, being devoted to me, resorting to mental abstraction, fix thy thoughts constantly on me. Fixing thy thoughts on me, thou wilt surmount all difficulties through my grace. But if from self-conceit thou wilt not listen, thou wilt then utterly perish. If, having recourse to self-conceit, thou thinkest, I will not fight, that resolution of thine would be vain, for nature will constrain thee. That which, from delusion thou dost not wish to do, thou wilt do involuntarily, bound by thy own duty springing from thy own nature. The Lord, O Arjuna, dwelleth in the region of the heart of beings, turning all beings as if mounted on a machine, by his elusive power. Seek shelter with him in every way, O Bharata. Through his grace thou wilt obtain supreme tranquillity, the eternal seat. Thus hath been declared to thee by me the knowledge that is more mysterious than any other matter. Reflecting on it fully, act as thou likest. Once more, listen to my supernal words, the most mysterious of all. Exceedingly dear art thou to me. Therefore I will declare what is for thy benefit. Set thy heart on me, become my devotee, sacrifice to me, bow down to me. Then shalt thou come to me. I declare to thee truly, for thou art dear to me. Forsaking all religious duties, come to me as thy sole refuge. I will deliver thee from all sins. Do not grieve. This is not to be ever declared by thee to one who practiseth no austerities, to one who is not a devotee, to one who never waiteth on a preceptor, nor yet to one who calumniateth me. He who shall inculcate this supreme mystery to those that are devoted to me, offering me the highest devotion, will come to me, freed from all his doubts. Amongst men there is none who can do me a dearer service than he, nor shall any other on earth be dearer to me than he. And he who will study this holy converse between us, by him will have been offered to me the sacrifice of knowledge. Such is my opinion. Even the man who, with faith and without cavil, will hear it read, even he freed from rebirth, will obtain the blessed regions of those that perform pious acts. Hath this, son of Pritha, been heard by thee with mind undirected to any other objects? Hath thy delusion, caused by ignorance, been destroyed, O Dhananjaya? Arjuna said, my delusion hath been destroyed, and the recollection of what I am hath been gained by me, O undeteriorating one, through thy favour. I am now firm. My doubts have been dispelled. I will do thy bidding. Sanjaya continued, thus I heard this converse between Vasudeva and the high-souled son of Pritha, that is wonderful and causeth the hair to stand on end. Through Vyasa's favour heard I this supreme mystery, this doctrine of yoga from Krishna himself, the Lord of Yoga, who declared it in person. O King, recollecting and again recollecting this wonderful and holy converse of Kesava and Arjuna, I rejoice over and over again. Recollecting again and again that wonderful form also of Hari, great is my amazement, O King, and I rejoice evermore. Thither where Krishna the Lord of Yoga is, thither where the great bowman Partha is, thither in my opinion are prosperity and victory, and greatness and eternal justice. Thus ends the 42nd section in the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. Thus ends the Bhagavad Gita Parva of the Bhishma Parva. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please like and subscribe to be notified of when new audiobooks are uploaded. Thank you for listening and learning. Shanti.